All right, Barakatay Hawashai, by Shimaka Kodash. Coming to the family with another breakdown of the scriptures. Much love to the Akanakwath who are listening and learning. Just want to bring some precepts out. I hope that it's edifying to the body and to those who are listening and learning. And so I want to just say that, our enemies basically have to pay for what they've done, okay? And it's happening right before our eyes. And the time is getting shorter and shorter. Look what's happening over there in Israel right now. They're getting bombed left and right by Gaza. They are covering up other news information because they don't want that stuff to get out because it's pretty bad. Over here in the States, with the stimulus money, with mass suicide rates from our enemies, there's a lot of cover-up that is going on because the devil knows that he has but a short time. And so I'm just going to go over some precepts really quick. The first one I'll go over is Genesis 15:15. And it reads, "And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age." 16. "But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." See, so we're already talking about reincarnation, okay, regeneration, coming back, because we, not just us, but our enemies, they have to come back and they have to pay for what they have done, okay? In the fourth generation, as it says in Genesis 15:16, right? And so there is no excuses when we have these heathen and whatnot. They always say, "Well, it wasn't my fault that slavery happened and we weren't there and such." And yes, either you if you didn't were there directly, indirectly you were there because you have to pay for the sins of your forefathers, right? And it says here that Genesis 15:16, "But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again for the iniquity of the Amorites." They have to come for the iniquity, right? That means you have to pay for what you have done. All right. So, if you look up that word iniquity, right, it means punishment, guilt, okay, consequences, okay. Those have to be fulfilled, and those are going to continue to be fulfilled until their time is up, okay. And so all of that nonsense, "Oh, well, I wasn't there, and I'm sorry for what my forefathers did." Well, you have to pay for what your forefathers did, just how we had to pay, right? Through slavery. Through us, disobeying the law, statutes, and commandments, according to Deuteronomy 28th chapter, right? And we were cursed due to that, okay? And we had to pay for that, and we're still paying for that, right? So, how much more our enemies? And the scriptures does say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so if they're the end of the world, look at the end of the world. Look at what world that we are in right now, and they're paying for their sins. The curses are coming back upon our enemies. So that's basically what that's saying right there. This other precept I want to get real quick is 2 Ezra 14:35. And it reads, "For after death shall the judgment come," right? "When we shall live again." That's reincarnation. We shall live again, right? "And then shall the names of the righteous be manifested, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared." See, so the works of the ungodly are being declared as we speak, okay? And as the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, shortens these days, as the scripture says, more and more of these calamities, these pestilences, and these disasters are going to fall upon our enemies, because we have continuously He has woken us up to who we are, right? He has given us back our understanding, our memory. He has given us back his name. And so as we call upon him and as we strive to serve him as we used to, right? He's pushing he's closing these times, these gaps. And so, our enemy is reacting, right, to what is already in them to be and do, right? Um, just because it's all planned that way, like the scripture says, Isaiah 45:7, right? He forms the light, he creates darkness, he makes peace and creates evil. The Lord does all things. So we have to know that it's a plan. It was already planned, and the plan is just fulfilling itself. It's playing out right before our eyes, right? So that's why we have to be, watchmen and watch the news and reading stuff. And I know I can honestly say I'm guilty of a lot of it, because sometimes I see it, but I don't really capture it until maybe later on, and so I have to continuously work on that myself, as I grow. But that's what we ought to do. That way we are privy and we understand what's coming. Okay. The next precept I want to hit is Lamentations 5:7. Our fathers have sinned, and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. So how much more our enemies, right? If we borne the iniquities of our fathers, how much more our enemies bearing the iniquities of their fathers, right? So just like the bastards right now that's dwelling in Ashdod, right, which is our land, which is over there in Israel. Look what's happening over there, right? So they're bearing the iniquities of their fathers, right? They're going through hell over there with the chip, the potato chip, manifesting itself, with the juice, you feel me? And so that's being forced on their people at a mass rate. And so you have the juice getting forced on them. That's basically what it is. Then you got the potato chip that they're creating, which I just saw a news article on that, which was crazy, that they put it under their fingernail for the women, and then they paint over it. Another way of cryptocurrency, a crypto way of buying and selling or whatnot. You got them being bombed by Gaza. They're warm with Gaza as well. Okay, it's turmoil over there, but that's our land and it needs to be cleansed, right? And the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua is cleansing that land, bit by bit, piece by piece. He's cleaning it up, because they're in our land. They need to get out, and they will, and that's what's happening right now. So this next precept I want to hit is Isaiah 14:2, and it reads, "And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them whose captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors," right? So what they done to us, we're going to do to them. And the scriptures does say give them double, right? So they already know what's going to happen. And so they're trying to fight their best for it not to happen, right? That's only, if you look at it in a worldly sense, that's fair, right? You did that to us, we got to do that to you. Like you don't get to. And what I don't like, and what I was thinking about is, how can you got Esau, you got these heathen, right? These heathen nations. How can you, after all that you've done to our people, the true Hebrew Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, the children of Israel, right? How can you do what you've done? Whether you did it indirectly, which that's going more into reincarnation, but even now, because we're being hated upon and killed and raped, robbed, and murdered, even now, but how can you do what you've done as a nation, as a people, and try to pray that away. If you want to dwell upon it and try to pray it away, like, oh, well, it wasn't us, I'm just going to pray and hope that I don't have to go through that. Like, you can't do that. As if you want to think of it in a worldly sense, okay, I didn't do it, but, I just, like, you guys can't do that to me. That's not going to happen to me because I didn't do it. And so I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to go to church, and I'm going to praise Jesus, and I'm going to try to do all this so that I'm not guilty of that. And you can't do that, right? That's not how it works, even though that's how they feel that it works, right? They don't understand scripture, so they feel like they have the upper hand. Like, we get to do this to you. We get to make all this money. Yes, our forefathers profited, and now I profit from back then. And then that's it. It's okay. I pray about it. I don't do that to you. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to. It's not like I'm going to give you back what I've gotten from you and from your forefathers' work. I'm not going to. It's not like I'm going to give you something. That's why they're never going to give us that, like that 40 acre and a mule crap that they talked about. No, that's not. That doesn't happen. Reparations, we don't want your reparation because there's not enough money that you can give us to make things okay. Okay? So, if anything, our reparation is going to be the planet. That's our reparations. So, okay, fine. That's fair. We get the planet and we get to rule of our oppressors, as the scripture says. So, you will be captives because you had us captives, right? And we will be your oppressors, right? That's how it's going to go down. So if you want to think of it in a worldly sense, we're going to have the upper hand because we already paid for ours, okay? Now it's time for you to pay for yours. And it doesn't matter. You can't pray it away. You can't. It don't happen like that. So next precept I want to hit is Revelations 14 and 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So, that right there is talking about the elect, the 1/3, who died in serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? Which will be us. And we are back now serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai because he has opened our eyes back to who we are and to serving him and to calling upon his name and to knowing who we are as a people, right? Our works follow us. We came back into this knowledge and understanding, right? To who we were. So our works have followed us, right? So I look at this verse right here twofold. So if our works follow us in righteousness, right? So our works have followed us into righteousness because we once be like the scripture says, for you once knew this, right? So now we're back. So the works of our enemies have followed them as well, right? You was wicked. You disobeyed Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And this part is talking about I'll say for the 2/3 of our people because they got to pay, as well. So, and judgment, the scripture does say that judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. So, our works follow us as we had previously obeyed the truth and called upon the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We died. We came back in that understanding. Those who died not calling on the name of the Lord, of our people, who refused, who mocked, who scoffed, they've come back too, right? And their works have followed them because they're in the same mindset as they was 2,000 years ago or however long it was, right? So that's the elect of Israel. That's the 2/3 of our people who are Israel. As the scripture says, not all Israel is Israel because there's the elect. And then you have the heathen, and then you have Esau. They died back then. Their works follow them because they're the same people as they were then. They're their people now. So Doesn't matter. That's the precept. Okay, your works do follow you. Whatever energy, wickedness you had then, you have it now, and that's why 2/3 of our people won't get this truth. Okay, they won't get it. They're gonna mock. They're gonna scoff. They're not gonna want to call upon the name. They're going to call upon Jesus. You know, they're gonna want to be participants in this worldly trash that's going on. They're going to want to do it. It's in them to do it. You can't talk them out of it. You can't shake them out of it. You know what I mean? That's what they want to do, because they have been woven into this system in their past life. So that's who they are. Okay? This next precept I want to hit is John 8:44. And it reads, "Ye are of your father, the devil. And the lusts of your father ye will do." So you're going to do what your father has done. Okay? "He was a murderer from the beginning." Okay? So who's that talking about? He was a murderer from the beginning. It was Cain, right? Okay. "And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." Okay? So that spirit of Cain, because we all know that, so I'll just say this. That spirit of Cain is that spirit is in our enemies, okay? And so that's why the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, when they come out speaking lies, right? You brothers know which verse I'm talking about. I can't think of it right now. But that's who they are, okay? They come out speaking lies, our enemies, okay? That is who they are. That is the spirit of Cain. That is their spirit, okay? And so they're just doing what they've always done, as the scripture says. Where is it? "He was a murderer from the beginning," okay? Always speaking lies from the beginning. So that's who Esau is, which is our wicked twin brother. Okay? Okay, so as well as these heathen nations, right? That's that wicked spirit, okay? And yes, our people can be wicked as well. But this is talking about the nature, the absolute nature of who this beast is, this devil is, okay? So the next precept I want to hit Salak, is Lamentations 5 and 7. And it reads, "Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities." I'm going to read that again. Lamentations 5 and 7. "Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we borne their iniquities." So we bore the iniquities of our fathers. These heathen and Esau, Edom, have borne the iniquities of their fathers. Okay? You can't hide from it. They can't hide from it. There's no hiding. So you're going to see mass destruction on our enemies. You're going to see these plagues and these pestilence come back upon our enemies, which is judgment, which is righteous judgment, okay? And one thing I want to hit before I go is, see, when the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, when he says, for our enemy, because he knows that he has but a short time. If you think about that real quick. He knows he has but a short time. He knows. I was dwelling upon this the other day. I'm like, and I just kept repeating it. He knows. He knows. He knows. If he knows that he has a short time, then is he going to put forth 100% effort into trying to destroy us, and also into trying to preserve his life? Because he knows. These devils, they know. Now, I feel, and this is just me, I feel that they all know. And it's not just the elite of the people. They all know. And see, down from the highest to the lowest, I believe that they all know, as the scripture says. But he knows that he has but a short time. Okay? If you just dwell upon that part, he knows, it puts more perspective on the scriptures and how much they know the scripture. If you want to think of it that way, how much they understand the scriptures. If he knows, if our enemy knows that they have a short time, that means all of this time since it started, from generation to generation to generation to generation to generation, they've always known that they had a short time. They've known that, when especially, so I'm gonna start from the blessing. Okay, when Isaac gave the blessing to Jacob and Esau, right then Esau knew he had a short time, because he knew that that blessing that he was gonna get was going to be a carnal blessing, which you would have to rule with the sword, which would come to an end. So that means he knew that he's going to have a short time. And that's why he said, after my father passes and dies, I'm gonna kill my brother, because he's going to have the everlasting kingdom. I get the carnal one, he gets the everlasting one. And so henceforth, I have a short time. So I'm going to do everything in my power from now on to destroy my brother. And that's what they've been doing since then. Because he knew, that's it. So all of my efforts, all of my ruling with this sword is going to be to destroy my twin brother from now until the Most High, Yahweh Shemashai, comes back and destroys me. So I don't know how long that is, but I'm going to do it until then. And of course, time is different for the Most High, right? A day, what it says, the day is like 1,000 years, 1,000 years like into one day. So, but he knew he had a short time. He knows he has a short time. And that's why he's pursued his brother. He's pursued us and continuously has done that. Generation through generation through generation through generation through his seed, right? These heathen Esau combine, okay, to destroy us. And that's what they've done, and they're going to have to pay for it. And they're paying for it right now. So, brothers and sisters, continue to watch, continue to study, continue to pray. And like the scripture says, though it tarry, wait, for it shall surely come to pass. And it's coming to pass right before our eyes. So hope this lesson was helpful and edifying. And much love to the Akanakwath out there. Much love to Brother Matthias, Brother John, Brother Pope. Each one reach one. There's others out there, man. Much love to you guys, man, and the work you do. Stay focused. Continue to be prayed up. And, that's all I really had to say about that. So till next time I say, Shalom.